Shalom Israel with Isupk started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And since 1969, we've been teaching the truth according to the Bible that so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians, we are the Israelites. We are the Jews according to the Bible. I'm preaching Officer Shaahl. Today is Wednesday, law class. Let's clap it up. I'm Most High in Christ. Hope everybody's coming to walk. You understand? We're going to get right into it. So lucky we had technical difficulties, but we here. You understand? Nothing can stop the word of the Most High. We had a couple of holidays that occurred, right? In June we had Juneteenth. You understand? All the Negroes was proud about Juneteenth, celebrating Juneteenth to come around. You understand? It's 4th of July and celebrating 4th of July. You understand? Celebrating not our independence, but celebrating the oppressor's independence. You understand? 1976, we were still in slavery. While y'all was barbecuing, while y'all was throwing those hot dogs and hamburgers on the grill, you understand? And just partying and carrying on. Guess what? We were the barbecue. You understand? They were setting us on fire on 1976, right? And if you look at it, you're spitting on the graves of your ancestors that suffered during that time. You understand? Like, what are you really celebrating? Just look around you. Ask yourself a question. Are we really free? You understand? Are we really free from this oppression of the oppressor? You understand? Who still hunts our footsteps? You understand? Who still unalives us and get away with it? What are we really celebrating? You understand? Because the last time I checked, Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians, we are still on the bottom. We are still struggling. You understand? Our people are still what? Protesting, marching, and begging this oppressor for his love and for his kindness and for his forgiveness. You understand? What do we really have? You understand? But you understand? Thanks to your Christian pastor, this is what he promotes. You understand? He promotes this. He promotes you barbecuing on the 4th of July. You understand? Celebrating Juneteenth, which is not in the Bible. You understand? The Most High never authorized us to celebrate man-made holidays. You understand? You can look at Leviticus the 23rd chapter. You understand? Speaking of that, this is the law class. You can look at Deuteronomy, Leviticus the 23rd chapter, and the Most High breaks down the high holy days and the feast days that He wants us to observe and celebrate. Not Juneteenth, not 4th of July, which is man-made. You understand? Like I said, we were still in slavery. We were still catching hell. And up until this day, you understand, this Joe Biden administration, we're still catching hell, Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians. So what's the constant, you understand, constant celebration going on about? You understand? I believe it says in Isaiah, if I'm not mistaken. You understand? Why are you spoiled? Why are you a homeborn slave? Why are you spoiled? I'm saying that's a question posed to the Most High that posed to us. Why are we spoiled? I'm saying, do not we see what's going on here? But we're going to go into these law, statutes, commandments, you understand, and we're going to break down how the law is our heritage. You understand? You got to ask yourself, what is your heritage? Your heritage is not celebrating 4th of July. Your heritage is not celebrating Juneteenth. You understand? Your heritage is not celebrating Thanksgiving, Easter. You understand? What is that now? Christmas, New Year's Day. You understand? Your culture is not celebrating your birthday. I could go on and on and on. Your culture is not eating pork, crab, lobster, and shrimp. Your culture is not hating your brother or hating your sister, right? So we're going to go into these scriptures and we're going to find out why did 1976 occur? It's because we was disobedient to the Most High's law, statutes, commandments. You understand? We didn't want the Most High God to rule over us. We wanted a man to rule over us. You understand? We became disobedient, puffed up, and stiff-necked and rebellious towards the Most High. And we're going to go into these scriptures and we're going to find out. If I may, Deuteronomy chapter 27 and verse 1, sir.
Deuteronomy 27 and 1. And Moses with the elders of Israel.
And Moses with the elders of Israel. You understand? Moses, he was a leader to the Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians. He had elders, just like how today Commander General Yohana, you understand, he's the leader of all Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians. Come on.
Under the king.
Under the king, sir. You understand? Under the king. Under our king, Yahushua, which is a black man. who died for Black, Hispanic, Indian, and North American Indians. You understand? And in our nation, we have elders. Commander General Yohana, you understand? All the generals. We don't, sir?
God commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day.
Saying, keep all the commandments which I commanded you this day. You understand? Moses is ordering, you understand, all Israel to keep the commandments of who? Of the Most High God. And what it says?
Verse 2.
Salakia, keep all the commandments which I command you this day. This day. And we still supposed to be keeping these laws, statutes, commandments. Drop that, sir. Let's go we could go to Salakia. We could go to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. You understand? Moses never told us not to, you understand, to forsake the law, statutes, and commandments. He told us to keep these law, statutes, and commandments. So what? Moses is giving you a commandment, which he was commanded by God to tell us. You know, sir, Brother Kusha?
Deuteronomy 28 and 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently. You understand? Hearken means to what? To listen. You understand? To observe, to embed this in your mind. Diligently. You understand? And so far often, you understand, our people, we take diligence to what? The BET Awards. We take diligence to what? The firecrackers shooting on the 4th of July. We take more diligence than what? To them love and hip hop than we do the law, statutes, commandments. We give more diligence to the oppressor than we do to the Most High. What the Most High gave us, His heritage. You know what, sir?
If I could too.
Come on.
And it says, and it shall come to pass. When it says it shall come to pass, that means in the future.
Right. You understand? This prophecy will be fulfilled in the future.
God.
And you know that what? The Most High already knows His people. We don't, sir?
God. If thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all His commandments.
And to do all His commandments, read on.
Which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high.
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high. You know what, sir?
Above all nations of the earth.
The Most High God will set us on high above all the nations on earth. Now, what does that sound like? That sounds like a God who favors, you understand, a nation more than the other nations. Understand? Right here, you're saying that the God of Israel told Israel that if we observe to do all His laws, statutes, commandments, that He's going to set us above high out of all the nations on the earth. Now, let's look at us today. You understand, in a situation that we're in right now. Are we above all the other nations? No, we're not. You understand? You look at Harlem, guess what? There's no black businesses in Harlem. All the businesses is ran by what? You understand? Our oppressors. The East Indians, the Arabs, the Africans. You understand? If a black man wants his business, what he have to do? He have to get a vendor's permit and sell his merchandise out on the streets. Never mind having a building for himself. You understand? Look at the economic structure today. You understand? We have nothing. In Genesis, the Most High said, the Most High made Adam, you understand, gave Adam dominion over the earth and over the sea. You understand? We have no dominion over anything right now. Why? Because we were disobedient to the Most High's law, statutes, commandments. You know, sir?
God.
You could drop that, if I may. You could jump down to verse 50.
If I could too, and that verse 1 right there. When it says the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations, that sounds like racism right there.
Right, absolutely.
It doesn't sound like He wants everybody to be equal. It doesn't sound like this is a post, what do they call it again? A post-racial society or something like that.
Right.
Where we got to get over racism. That's not what the Lord is saying here. The Lord is saying, if you do what I tell you to do, He's going to put us above the Europeans.
Right.
You're going to put us above the Chinese in power.
Right.
You're going to put us above the Arabs in wealth and power. You know what I mean? Verse 15. But it shall come. Salakia shall come in.
Come.
It shall come, meaning we're not talking about the day that He was speaking. We're talking about the days that are coming.
Right.
Talking about in the future. It shall come to pass.
Right.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If they will not hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, hearken means to hear, to listen, to observe, to obey. You understand? The Most High said it's going to come a time where Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians will choose not to listen to the Most High God. You understand? Will not choose not to listen to the Most High's prophets. You understand? Read on.
To observe. To do all his commandments.
To do some.
To do all his commandments.
See, to do all his commandments. Because, you know, like, in a Christian church, you understand, you do have some that may not be into homosexuality. You may have some that may not eat pork, crab, lobster, and shrimp. You understand? But nowadays, you understand, the Christian church, you understand, they choose what to keep and not to keep. You understand? To better their lifestyle. But the Most High said to do all his commandments. Because if you break one commandment, you breaking them all.
Right.
We don't want to talk about the name.
Unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day. That all these curses.
That all these what?
All these curses.
That all these curses
shall come upon thee. If I may, right?
Come.
God, and it said shall come, meaning at the time when he was speaking, the curse didn't come yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? But now those curses have come to pass.
Right.
They came and they passed us.
Right.
You know what I mean? To the point where all our history is about how we was abused in America.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
God.
God.
All these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
And overtake thee. You understand? And it's overtaking us, man. Look at the condition of Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians. You understand? Compared to when we ruled the world. You understand? Compared to how when we ruled, you understand, England. You understand? When we, us ruling the world. I said, look at, you go to Harlem.
So it's specific.
Come.
Scotland, Ireland, Wales, France, and Germany.
Right.
You know what I mean? Come.
Yeah.
Them white boys had England.
God.
That's how those countries was split up over there.
Right.
Because it was racial war. You know what I mean? It was Israelites in Scotland, Wales, and Ireland versus England.
Right.
And there was brothers on the white team.
Right.
In England. You know what I mean?
Come.
Yeah, man.
Most High Christ.
Yeah, man. Great.
You and it's going to overtake us, man. And you know what I'm saying? And we're overtaking us. You understand? We're in poverty. We're suffering. We're in oppression. We're in the ghettos and slums and the barrios. If I may, can we drop that and go to verse 48?
Okay. Deuteronomy 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Therefore thou shalt serve thy enemies. You understand? Moses is telling us that we will serve our enemies. You understand? Letting you know that what? Our nation of Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians, we have enemies. Contrary to what your Christian pastor taught you. Contrary to what Martin Luther King taught you. You understand? The Most High never made, you understand? The Most High never made, you understand, our nation to be loved by the other oppressors. The Bible calls them our enemies. You know, sir?
God. Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Mm-hmm.
So that's deep. You know what I mean? God does not want everybody to hold hands.
Right.
That's not God's agenda here.
Right.
You know what I mean? The Lord is saying he made up the other race of people.
Right.
To be your enemy.
Right.
And when you disobey the Lord, he's going to send those other races of people to be your punishment.
Right.
So God is saying. Damn. Right.
And it's Khan, sir. You know what I'm saying? You have Jesse Jackson saying a rainbow coalition. Yeah. All nations get together and love each other. That's letting you know that guess what, man? That's a false. You know what I'm saying? That's a false teacher, prophet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Telling you what contrary to what the Most High is saying.
Right. So it's like that's deep that he said too. he said that everybody should hold hands in a rainbow coalition. Well, what God is saying here is, when we hold their hands, we love them by taking their abuse.
Right.
By serving them while they don't serve us. That's being together in a rainbow coalition. I mean, there's all these colors of people, and we serve them.
Right.
That's what the rainbow coalition. If I'm understanding what you're saying. In the rainbow, I don't know which one is at the bottom.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whatever color is at the bottom.
Right.
That's us.
Right.
We're at the bottom of the rainbow. What's at the top? Red is at the top. That's the white man. Either one. Damn.
Right.
Sorry. Esau is at the top of the rainbow in red. The red neck is at the top of the rainbow, and he sits on all these other colors.
Right.
In this rainbow coalition, and we're on the bottom.
Right.
You know what I mean? Damn. Salakia.
Come.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemy, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst.
In hunger and in thirst. You understand what that's telling you? You understand? You want a cheeseburger, you understand? You're gonna have to go to the Arabs. You want some fried chicken, you're gonna have to go to the Arabs. You're gonna have to go to the Chinese. You understand? Like, what do they know about fried chicken? You understand? That's a black man's meal right there.
Yeah.
Chicken. You understand? Black man don't have his own restaurants. And you know, and don't get it twisted. If he do have his own restaurant, you know what I'm saying? He's paying the rent and the mortgage and all of that to the oppressor. You understand?
Right.
If anytime he lacks in those bills, guess what? The oppressor is going to take his establishment away. You know, sir?
Salaki also, not forgetting EBT. We serve our enemy. If you don't got a job, you need EBT. If you got a job, you need EBT.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Right. And in nakedness.
You understand? So the same thing as you wanting, you understand, you wanting food, you understand, and drink.
Yeah.
To clothe yourself, you're gonna have to go to him.
Right.
You understand? Like back then, you understand, we used to make our own we made our own garments.
Yeah.
You understand? We had our own farms, we made our own garments, you understand? We controlled the natural resources of the world, but we didn't have to go to the other nations. The other nations had to come to us. Now the Most High reversed that. Why? Because we didn't want to serve the Lord, you understand? Enjoy the abundance of gladness.
Right.
You understand? We didn't want to appreciate what the Lord gave us. We turned all of that and just basically gave it all up. But to be loved by the oppressors, and they don't, you understand? They don't love us. They may pretend that they love you, but their agenda is really just to suck you dry. You understand? Psalms the 83rd chapter. You understand? They have taken crafty conflict. Salakia, paraphrasing. And say they have taken crafty counsel. And saying that the name of Israel shall be made no more in remembrance. Right. They want to wipe us out. You understand? They want us destroyed.
If I could ask, we say it's so heavy, man. You know what I mean? Because with that crafty counsel came the Christian church, who was the servants of their counsel.
Right.
Because there was a time when the Lord gave us a little break from hardcore bondage in the South. And brothers are leaving the South to go to New York, to go to Chicago, Detroit.
Right.
And brothers, right, knowing what time it was, knowing that some of us was very well aware that the oppressor is the devil. You know what I mean? This is the guy who's out to hurt us, to lynch us.
Right.
So we went to the North, and we started to have our own clothes business.
Right.
We used to wear suits, and brothers used to make those suits.
Right.
You know what I mean? Brothers in Detroit, they used to have car shops.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And barber shops, and we was all supporting ourselves. But then the Christian church,
right,
with that same Christian love everybody garbage.
Right.
You know what I mean? We went from having all of our own businesses,
right,
to the Christian church through Martin Luther King.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Making us once again gotta go back into hunger and thirst and nakedness. Now we don't make our own clothes.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Now without Rainbow, sisters don't wear clothes.
Right.
They're gonna wear clothes that you don't go to Rainbows.
Right.
You know, you don't go to H&M, you don't go to Macy's.
Right.
What clothes you gonna have if you don't go to Bim's or Dr. J's?
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's lucky.
You got the oppressor's name on the back of your jeans.
Oh my God.
You understand?
What's his name?
Huh?
What's his name? God damn.
Calvin Klein?
You be nice. I was gonna say Levi. Man, Levi is an odd name.
Right.
But it's his name now on the back of our jeans.
Right.
Man.
Absolutely.
what I mean?
God.
And in one of all things.
And basically in one of all things, man. You understand why? Because the Most High haven't given you reach to get it. What did Job 9:24 says? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So since the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, what the Most High is telling you that the oppressor, he's the ruler of the earth right now. But now you have to go to him. You understand what you want? You want WIC, you want public assistance. Maybe you want a loan, you understand, for college. You understand? You got to go to him. And that's the same. That's what the Most High put us through. For not being obedient to his law, statutes, commandments. You understand? And let this serve a lesson to us. You understand? Because this is the outcome when you choose not to serve the Lord.
Okay, I know
this is the outcome when you choose to listen to your Christian pastor, man. You understand? That's why you gotta blame and charge your Christian pastor, because he's the one. Your Christian church is the one. Your Catholic organization is the one, you understand, to blame for the state that we're in right now. Where's your leaders? You understand? Where's your righteous men? You understand? Job, let me get there for you. We're going to hold that. We're going to go to Jeremiah chapter 14 and 2. This is your Christian pastor. This is how he failed you. Get there. Get there. Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2 means Judah mourneth. Who is Judah? Judah is the so-called Negro here in America. You understand? But not only Judah, you understand, the rest of his brethren, the whole 12 tribes of Israel. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and Simeon, all the way down to Isupk. Why? Because in Isaiah, it tells you that Judah and Israel was oppressed together. We are not in this alone. You understand? The black man is not the only one struggling here in America. You understand? The Hispanic man is not the only one that's struggling. The Native North American Indian man, woman, and child is not the only one that's struggling. You understand? And remember, we are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So not only here in America, but we are catching hell throughout the four corners of the earth. Why? Let's read that again. Jeremiah chapter 14 and 2. Judah mourning. What does that sound like, to mourn? You understand? That means to be heavy-hearted. You're going through some form of oppression. You understand? You're going through a poverty and pain. You understand? There's no happiness in mourning. You're in sorrow. You know, when you're in mourning, what? You're crying. You're lamentating. You're lamentating, if I may. We are in mourning. Why? Because of the condition that we're in. We step outside to a crime, to games, you understand, to drugs, guns, right? Abortion clinics. The oppressor, you understand, the law enforcement hunting our the oppressor hunting our footsteps down. Our law enforcement don't even protect us, you understand? You understand? They target what? Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians, man, woman, and child. We are mourning. Look at the condition that we're in right now. Right? So it says, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof language. What does the gate represent? What does the gate represent? Understand? When you have a gate in front of your house, what does that gate do for your house? It protects your house for what? Intruders coming in and breaking in. Understand? The scripture says, understand, how can a strong man be bound? I'm paraphrasing. Right? When somebody comes into your house, you understand, they're capable of what? Destroying your family structure. They're capable of destroying what's in your house. Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof language. So the gates is representing our religious leaders that's supposed to protect us. Martin Luther King, you understand, he put up a good front, but guess what? The Most High wasn't with him. Jesse Jackson. Who else? The NAACP.
Who against like in here?
Right. That's double
NAACP.
Right. You understand?
Yeah, NAACP.
That what has it done for us?
Right.
What is your Christian pastor doing for you? You understand? Some of y'all voted for Barack Obama, who's not even a black man, and he did zero. He did nothing for black people, but gave the LGBTQ rights. So Judah mourneth in the gates thereof language. What does language mean? Language means to become weak. So now the Bible is saying that your religious leaders, the people who you look up to, you understand, for spiritual advice, for leadership, they became weak. Why? Because they sold you out to the oppressor. Jesse Jackson, you think when something happens, you understand that Jesse Jackson come on the scene, you think he's doing that in sincereness? Now, guess what? He's getting a penny for it. He's getting paid for that. They are black unto the ground. And you know that what? The Jews are black. Understand, this is a twofold precept. The Jews are black, but guess what? Black meaning that we are on the low bottom. We are on mourning. And the cry of Jerusalem is going up. And we're signing crying. How many black mothers that's losing their sons to these streets? You understand? Look at our daughters. You understand? We're sighing and we're crying for the injustice that been happening, you understand, 400 plus years here in America. And you mean to tell me what? We're still celebrating July 4th? We're not free. If I may, sir, we could go back to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48.
Okay. Deuteronomy 28, 48. Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
Right.
And he shall put a yoke. Slack, the Lord is gangster. Slack, you go ahead.
No, Slack, if I may.
Slack, the Lord is gangster. In other words, all the things that ain't even existed yet.
Right.
All those things are to come.
Right.
You're gonna want all of those things. You gotta go through him, through the oppressor to get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And want of all things. Slack, you know what I'm saying?
No.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Man, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck. And I said, well, how do you know that the Jews are black? But because this didn't happen to no other nation. Understand? This didn't happen to the Africans. This didn't happen to the Arabs or the Asians or the East Indians. And it most certainly didn't happen to, you understand, to the small hats. This happened to the so-called Negroes, the West Indians, the Haitians. You understand? The Puerto Ricans, the Dominicans. You understand? And he shall put a yoke of iron upon their neck. You know what they say? They say that what? A picture is worth a million words. Yeah. Google it. You understand? Google black man with yoke of iron on his neck, and you're gonna see a black man with an iron on his neck.
So we got a picture of it right now.
Come on.
We have the slave ships in the back.
Right.
We have the oppressor standing around.
Right.
Like even a sellout Negro probably with the oppressor, and then we got all the slaves, all the brothers on the ground with iron on their necks, chained together and all kind of stuff.
Come on, sir.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I mean, when you say set out, God, this picture looks like it's probably like in the, not from West Africa. Because if I may, a lot of these slave movies, I know when I first came into the Isupk, you understand, a lot of brothers said, well, black people sold black people to slavery. But a lot of these slave movies, you understand, when you see, you understand the oppressor, which is the so-called white man, you understand, he may have like a black man helping him. Remember, you understand, those were Africans. Those wasn't Negroes. Those were the Africans that was helping the white, the oppressor, capture us, because the oppressor never went through Africa. You understand? He stayed at the shorelines with his ships, while the Africans, you understand, kidnapped us. You understand? Took us from different parts of the West Africa and brought us to the shorelines to be aborted on those slave ships, to bring us to the Americas, the Caribbean islands, the North, South, Central Americas. You understand? But that picture is definitely excellent, because what? A picture is worth a million words. And we're reading right here now in the Bible. That's why you can't say that the Bible is not, you understand, the Bible is not real. It's right here. This is your history. You understand? This is the Bible is the black man's history book. If I may, can you read that again, Baba Kushel?
Yeah. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck. And you know what movie best depicts what this scripture is talking about? Roots. You understand? When if you those who ever saw Roots, you understand? And I'm not talking about the remake. I'm talking about the original. You understand? Alex Haley, Roots. You understand? When Kunta Kinte, you understand, who was played by LeVar Burton, when he tried to escape, they put over a yoke of iron on his neck so he could not escape. You understand? Letting you know that this is you understand? This fits the so-called black man. Read on stuff for me.
Yeah. So I was trying to get another picture on this.
Come on. Right. Look at that yoke of iron upon this brother's neck. You understand?
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck,
right,
until he have destroyed thee.
Until he have destroyed us, broke us.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
What's your Hebrew name, Shaahl? Oh no, your name now is what? Omar, Toby. Because we had Hebrew names. He took our Hebrew names away from us and gave us what? Slave names. That's why here in the Isupk, right? When we get our Hebrew names, we say what? We will not call thee by that whatever filthy, disgusting name you was called. But this is your new Hebrew name. Because these names mean nothing to us. These English names mean nothing to us. There's no meaning. Whereas, you understand, the Most High gave us a name, you understand, that spiritually fit us, according to the scriptures.
Right.
If I may, sir, let's jump up to verse 47. Should have looked there first.
47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness.
With what, sir?
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness.
With joyfulness.
Yeah.
With joy. Hey, listen. December 25th, you're joyful. When you wake up to that Christmas tree and those presents, you're so damn joyful. You understand? Easter, when you wake up to the Easter basket, you're so joyful. How I know? Because guess what? I was in the world before. These are the things that I used to do. And these are the things I know. You understand? You're so joyful to go to the East River and watch the fireworks on 4th of July. You understand? You take joy in things that the Most High God hates. Therefore thou shalt serve, verse 47, because the service, not the Lord, serve.
Right.
You understand? You didn't want to serve, you didn't want to worship, you didn't want to obey the Most High. You didn't want to take heed to the Passover, you understand, to the Sabbath, to the Passover, the Feast of First Fruits. You understand? You didn't want to serve the Most High, but rather you wanted to do your own thing. You understand? You wanted to be jealous and envious over the other nations over there in that land.
If I could, right?
Come on.
And that what the Lord saying is so deep too, because He's saying you ain't serve the Lord thy God with joyfulness, meaning you thought it a sad thing to look at all these laws. Oh my gosh, you got so much laws, you can't keep every single one of them.
Right.
Our people don't look at it like a good thing.
Right.
They look at it like this is a thing, it's oppressing us.
Right.
And then here's the thing. Serving the Lord in this regard don't even mean that you really have to do anything. All you gotta do is not eat pork.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's more about things to just not do for most people. It's not the priest, it's talking about the people.
Right.
The people just have to not smoke weed or cigarettes.
Right.
You know what I mean? To just not do adultery, to not misbehave. Now you go to the oppressor's going to require you to actually serve and go into your job at UPS.
Right.
To the point where it's so oppressing, now you want to do a slave strike, but you get to smoke weed.
Right.
And you get to sleep with another man's wife. It's not illegal in America.
Right.
You know what I mean? You get to lie. It's not illegal to lie to another person in public.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we rather do that because serving the oppressor comes with that.
Right.
Now to not serve the oppressor, to serve the Lord instead, you have to not do anything that the Lord does not want you to do.
Right, right.
Meaning you could be a bum,
right,
but you don't smoke weed.
Right.
You don't use drugs. You don't do adultery. But the Lord will make you have an inheritance.
Right.
To wait, your everyday life would just be to get up, go on the lawn and kick your feet up.
Right.
And somehow you just got money.
Con.
You know what I mean? From other brothers. I mean, you're not gonna, of course, you're not gonna have gain by being by being lazy, but
right.
To not disobey the Lord, you won't have to do anything.
Right.
Your entire days could just be telling other people what to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Or you hire someone else to tell the people under you what to do.
Right.
And you just kick back and do nothing. You could be a bum,
right.
A wealthy bum.
Right.
You know what I mean? If we just obeyed the Most High.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's heavy.
You know what I mean?
Con.
And so I didn't even say bum, but
right.
There's a stigma out there in the world where, because Jacob had to stay at home.
Right.
A Christian would have called Jacob in his nature.
Right.
They would have called him being a bum only because we don't want to do the slave master's hard work.
Right.
While he be a bum.
Right.
In these private jets, and he's a bum in whatever mansion he lives in Calabasas.
Right.
Being a bum.
Con.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? That's heavy. And Moses laid it all out before us. You know what I'm saying? If you serve the Most High, I'm saying He's going to put you above all nations. Now look what we have to worry now. You know what I'm saying? Because our ancestors, who really now we are, we are them because reincarnation exists. That's another class lock-in.
Yeah.
But now what? We gotta pay. We gotta worry. Should I pay for my phone bill or my gas bill? Yeah. Now you gotta choose. Well, I need my gas to eat, to cook, but I also need my phone. You understand? To call the brothers. You understand?
Right.
To call my boss. You understand? My supervisor on my job.
Right. This
is the hell that we gotta go through for not being obedient.
So lock, yeah.
Come on, so if I may.
In New York,
right?
You got brothers who are looking at their bank account and weighing out. Can I save $2 by jumping the turnstiles on the train?
Right.
So I can hopefully save $30 at the end of the week.
Right.
You got brothers that drive, and they gotta contemplate. They got a family in the Bronx or whatever it is. They live in Brooklyn. They gotta contemplate whether they should take the long way,
right,
and spend more gas,
right,
than paying the $6 to go over the easy pass on the bridge, because they're poor.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Because they're poor.
Right.
Oh man.
You
know what I mean? You got brothers driving all day. All day, their gas tank is on E because they can't afford to fill the gas tank.
Right.
Oh man. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Real life, man.
The hell, you understand? And your Christian pastor teaches that there's hell underground. Now we're living hell here on earth. Mm-hmm. You understand? Well, your Christian pastor is living lavishly off of lies.
Right.
You understand? Off of lies and deceit.
Mm-hmm.
You could finish that last bit, Baba Kushel.
Yeah. Until he have destroyed thee.
Right.
Verse 49. The Lord.
So like if I may, we could jump down to verse 68.
Deuteronomy 28 and 68.
Right.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. What does Egypt mean? Egypt means bondage. You understand? Mizraim means bondage.
Right.
Again, meaning what? A second time.
Yeah.
So now we're in the book of Deuteronomy, and we already exited out of Egypt. You understand? We're away from the Pharaoh and the bondagement of Pharaoh. But now it says right here, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. But this time with what? With ships. You understand? And who did that happen to? You understand? Who did that happen to? What people on the face of this earth did this happen to? That this scripture is talking about. It happened to Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians. It did not happen to no other nation. That's how we prove in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, that we are the real Jews according to the Bible. Because this didn't happen to no other nation. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Just as Officer Hazenhab just posted a picture, you understand, in the background, you seen a what? You seen a ship.
Yeah.
You understand? They carried away us from what? West Africa into the Americas, into the Caribbean islands, North, South, Central America. God. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And then ye shall be sold unto your enemies. Again, the Lord is letting you know that what? You're going to be sold unto your enemies. You understand? We wasn't going to be, when we got off those slave ships, you understand? It wasn't no open arms and love and kisses and kindness and compassion and mercy. It was straight cruelty, man. Chains, whips, being castrated, being sold. You understand? Your wives being raped. You understand? Your sons being raped. Your children being taken off to another plantation. The castrations, you understand? The Florida alligator baits, man. This happened to no other people but Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. And Salaki, if I may, you understand, and our people celebrate that what is
July
that?
4th.
No, the Santa
Santa Maria. Yeah, in America.
Oh, what is that Hispanic
Country, Dominican Republic. Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
Oh wait, that's
That's Cinco de Mayo. You understand? We celebrate Cinco de Mayo. You understand? When the Nina, what is it? The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria was all slave ships.
Right.
Was all slave ships, man. You understand? I remember back in the day, my grandmother had those 3 slave ships like ornaments. Not realizing that, you understand? Now I know, but back then I'm thinking it was just ships. You understand? I used to, play with the ships. I thought it was toys, not knowing that these were actually, you understand, slave ships. How destroyed we are as a people. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. You understand, which means slaves. And no man shall buy you, meaning that nobody would be there to help us.
Right. Nobody would. So
Bosha.
Okay. I guess the term in English, Old English, is to say like redeem.
Redeem,
yeah.
You understand? Nobody will redeem us, man. You understand? But wait a minute. I thought you was African.
Come
on. I thought you was African. When the last time the Africans came in and got you and took you back?
Yeah. Sorry.
You understand?
Yeah.
I've been living such and such years now. So like if I may, sir.
Yeah.
I've been living such and such years now. I'm not going to give the people my age. But I have never heard an African say, "Come back home, brother."
Yeah. So.
Come on, sir.
And they got gold.
Right.
They got gold. They got blood diamonds.
Right.
They got, they got gold. They got diamonds.
Right.
They got resources.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right.
You understand? Hey, listen, man. We are not Africans, man. You understand? The Africans never came and got us back. You understand? In fact, you understand, they were the ones. They're pivotal to our enslavement because they helped our oppressors.
Right.
But now here you in America, you understand, and you're thriving. You understand? They hate you, and they call you what? A cotton picker.
Yep.
You understand? Yeah, Akon a couple of months ago said what? That all the Negroes do is just get high, smoke weed, and sag their pants. Meanwhile, when Akon, which is an African, when he came out, that song he made, "Locked Up," you understand?
Yep.
That was a song dedicated to the Negro man. You understand? The Negro man related to that song, not the Africans. He got filthy rich over. We made him filthy rich over that song. We made his career. We're the ones that made his career. But he's letting you know and understand the truth always come out. The colors always show that they hate us, man. They hate Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians. You understand? While guess what? Nobody's ridiculing on Burna Boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's African. He smokes all the weed in the world. Akon didn't say nothing about Burna Boy. Kind of concepts. Like if I may, we could go to in the Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus.
Also, Shaahl, right? When no man shall redeem us, right? So no man shall buy us, right? A good way I like to think about it is imagine we own a plantation, right? And of course, the oppressor is selling slaves. And we would always hope a nicer devil comes and buy us out of slavery. Or some African will come and say, oh, he's wealthy and he's come to buy some slaves back into freedom, and he comes with money and pays the oppressor and buys us out of slavery.
Right.
You know what I mean? No man shall buy you.
Right.
I mean, we just live forever on the Johnson's plantation.
That's heavy,
you know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, what is that movie? 12 Years a Slave. When
Slave, Django. You know what I mean?
12 Years a Slave, where damn, you had the movie 12 Years a Slave, right? So similar to what you were saying.
Yeah, that's right. So he came from New York.
Right. He was skillful in playing the violin. So the oppressor came, right?
Yeah.
The oppressor came and said to him, well, you know what? You're gonna make such and such money, if you come with us over to this other land.
Right.
So you understand, the black man, he goes with them thinking that he's gonna have a career, thinking that he's gonna return home. You understand, rich because of his gift for playing the violin. You know what I'm saying? He thought, but really it was for him, you understand, to go back into captivity because he was a free man then. You understand? But that's heavy what you were saying, sir. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 17 and verse 11.
Say again?
Ecclesiasticus chapter 17 and verse 11, sir. If I may, you could scroll all the way down to the bottom.
Okay.
And it will show you Apocrypha.
Okay, and it's Ecclesiasticus 20 what?
Ecclesiasticus chapter 17 and verse 11.
17 and 11. Ecclesiasticus 17 verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
Besides this, he gave them knowledge.
Besides this, he gave them knowledge. Read on.
And the law of life.
And the what?
And the law of life.
And the law of life. You understand? This law, you understand? Don't take this law lightly. Because we already showed you in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter the punishments that we will have to go through for breaking these laws, statutes, commandments. The Most High God said that this law is life. You understand? The Most High said that if we follow these laws, statutes, commandments, you understand that we should have prolong our life shall be prolonged on earth, instead of us dying when we were 20 years old, in our 20s to the streets. You understand? Dying of drugs, dying from diseases. You understand? Being unalive by our oppressors. Keeping these laws, statutes, commandments adds us life. The here says in Ecclesiasticus chapter 17, verse 11, beside this, he gave them knowledge in the law of life. Read on, sir, if I may.
Okay. And the law of life for an heritage.
For a what?
For an heritage.
For an heritage. Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian man. This is heavy.
Right.
You understand? The Lord gave you his law, statutes, commandments for a heritage. You understand? This is our heritage. Our heritage is not Kwanzaa, man. You understand? Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, Juneteenth, 4th of July. You understand? This is not, you understand, this word, you understand, this, what the oppressor gives us is not our heritage. These laws, statutes, commandments is our heritage. And the beautiful thing is that he didn't give it to no other nation. He only gave it to us. I'm going to prove that. Let's go to Psalm chapter 147, verse 19, sir. That the Most High only gave his heritage to Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians and no other nations. And you wonder why the other nations are getting away with crimes. Then how come a black man commits, you understand? Our people commit crimes, right? And we get caught within what, like the next day. Right. Understand? We always get caught. We don't escape the white man's, you understand, the oppressors, you understand, law and his judgment. Just like how, you understand, we don't escape the Most High's laws and his judgment. We always get caught. This is Psalm chapter 147, verse 19, Baba Kasha. Okay. You understand? You wonder why we get caught. You may wonder why the oppressor always gets slapped for the crimes that he commits. And we're going to read it to you. Why? Because the Most High only gave his laws, statutes, commandments to Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians and no other nations. If you can read that.
Psalms 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob.
He showeth his word unto Jacob. He is the Most High. When it says he is talking about the Most High God, Yahweh, the power over Israel. He showeth his word. What is the word? The word is the Bible. You understand? The scriptures that we're reading out right now that contains what? The law, statutes, commandments. To Jacob. Who is Jacob? Jacob, you understand, the angel gave Jacob, changed his name into Israel, which means what? He is a prince of power, which is Shaahl in Hebrew. He showeth his word unto Jacob. You understand? So Jacob. Come on. Okay, so right. Jacob, he's the father of what? The 12 tribes of Israel. Yeah. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Asher, Naphtali, and Isupk, also called Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians. Yeah. Come on.
To be clear, Jacob is the forefather of Black people in America.
That's right.
And Latino.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Come on.
Native Indian. His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
His statutes and his judgments unto who? Israel.
Right.
You understand? Not no other nation. Most High gave us Jacob, you understand, gave us his laws and his judgments. And what are the judgments? The judgments are the punishments that we have to go through for breaking the laws, statutes, commandments, not being obedient. Just as we read in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. You understand? What do you think? When we went into bondage and slave ships, yoke and iron, you understand? All of that was 1776. You understand? 1776 is in the Bible. But yeah, what we Independence Day, who's very independent? When the Most High told us that we would have to serve them in one of all things, that's not being independent. We don't talk about the show.
Verse 20. He hath not dealt so with any nation.
Man, he have not dealt so with any nation. That doesn't sound like God loves everybody.
Right.
That sounds like God is racist, like he's a separatist. You understand that he values a people more than the others. And that people that he values is who? Us. And when I mean us, I'm talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. Come.
Nation in the Bible means race.
Right.
The Lord is saying he don't deal with this. He don't deal with any other race like this.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Keep reading.
Come on.
And as for his judgments.
And as for his judgments, the Most High judgments, the punishments.
Yeah.
Because we always getting caught. You understand? We always have to face. You understand? Let's not look at it as like we don't want to give credit to the oppressor because when we break, okay, The Most High tells us to also respect the land, the laws of the land, right? That's all President's laws, you understand? He has certain laws. You can't run a red light. If you run a red light, you understand the cop pulls you over, he's going to throw you in jail, right? But when we do those things, that's really the Most High, you understand, is above the oppressor.
And as for his judgments, they have not known them.
Wow. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. The other nations don't know what it's like to be kidnapped, to be falsely taken, you understand, and be sold to another people. They don't know what it's like to be on those, to have to go through, what we went through on those cargo slave ships, to be chained up. The other nations don't know what it's like to have their nationality stolen from them.
That's right.
You ask the Asians know who they are. The Africans know who they are. The East Indians, you understand, and the Arabs, they know who they are. But when you ask a Black, Hispanic, and Native North American their nationality, they're going to say Christian.
Right.
So like it. You understand? They're going to say Christian or Muslim.
We're gonna give the religion that gives us the culture,
right,
or the heritage, right, of some other race of people.
Right.
Because Christian is white heritage and Islam is Arabic heritage.
Right.
Yes. If I could also.
Come on.
You know what I mean? I know a lot of people always think about, they're always wondering about the role the other nations play and how God deals with them. You know, mainly because of the lack of integrity and love for our own.
Right.
So much concern for other people more than our own people, right?
Right.
So, right quick. Yeah, Sodom and Gomorrah, right?
Right.
And they were gay, right? But the Lord did not care that they was gay until they brought their gayness onto Lot's.
Right.
Lot's people and family and the people who Abraham loved.
Right.
So all this time, they didn't know the Lord's judgment until they harmed the people who the Lord loved.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, after all these years of being gay and living some crazy, abominable life, right? All of a sudden, we go in there, they harm us, and all of a sudden, God brings down fire from the sky on them. Right. You know what I mean? But until then, you know, they were safe and in the clear until they touched us. Right. You know what I mean? That's Salaki. That tells you something about what's coming to America. Right. You know what I mean? Because the Lord called us in Isaiah. He called us the apple of his eye. Right. You know what I mean? If white people could have they could have existed forever. Right. And lived and, you know, ate shrimp and ate, you know, eagles or whatever they're eating. Right. You know, crabs and lobster and frogs. Right. They could have lived forever and did whatever they want as long as they did not touch us. But when they touch us, now the God is saying that you're going to be extinct one day. Right. You know what I mean? You're going to be stuck.
That's how it calls Salakia. There's a scripture, I'm paraphrasing, when it says, touch not my anointed, nor do my prophets any harm. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for the, you know what I'm saying, those other groups that try to come against you, understand? Yeah. I should be careful. The commanders on their heart, you understand? You're going to face the judgment of the Most High. Yeah. Cats
getting shot.
Con.
They took in Kansas City.
Right.
They harmed the prophet of the Lord in Kansas City. Right. And then somehow they own homeboys or whoever left their camp or there's people out there. Right. Just start busting guns at them. Right. At them, not at us. We teaching our side too. That's right. But no one is shooting at us. They shooting at them. Right. You know what I mean? The Lord ain't done so with no other nation. You know what I mean? So lucky. Then it's like the verse ends in praise ye the Lord.
You understand? Right. God. You understand? Praise ye the Lord, because you understand? Yeah. The Most High is right for this. Yeah. He's absolutely right. And so you can't ever say that the Most High is an unjust power when he laid it out all on the line for us, you understand? You know what I'm saying, during the time of Moses. Yeah. So we can't say, oh, God is unfair. Why is God doing this? Why is God doing that? You know what I'm saying? Most High, you understand, he's a fair power. If I may, we got 5 minutes.
We do got 5 minutes.
Come on.
And if you join the ISUPK, what God is showing you, right, as the Lord deals with the IUIC, and all the prophecies that he got to come. If you join the ISUPK, you made the right decision.
Right.
Now you truly found the Lord's safety.
Right.
You know what I mean? As everyone in here say, all the brothers in KC4 in Kansas City, they're safe.
Right.
And they're not getting shot. You know what I mean? We're absolutely safe in here. America's going down, and the Most High promised us safety.
That's right.
In this book here, especially for those in the ISUPK. Now,
right.
If you're not in the ISUPK, then you know what I mean. You're rolling the dice.
Right.
It's a gamble. You know what I mean? Praise be the Lord. It says right here.
Come on.
You know what I mean? You have not dealt with any other nation. Any of us want to go before we go?
Come on. We could go to what is that? The my commandments are not grievous. Get there. Second John chapter 5 and verse 3, Bible Bishop.
Say it again.
Salaki. 1 John chapter 5 and 3. 1 John chapter 5 and 3, Salaki.
Okay. Okay. 1 John chapter 5 verse 3. For this is the love of God.
For this is the love of God. You understand? Love is an action word.
Yeah.
You understand? So many times, you understand, in this captivity, we've taken the word love, you understand, loosely. You understand? We may think love is, oh, you understand, buying presents and gifts. You understand? Buying your child a PlayStation 3. You understand? You might think love is getting a family a Christmas tree and putting presents underneath the, you understand, the tree. You understand? Or anything that's concerning of this world. But here in the scripture, love is an action word. Read on from the top over show.
Okay. For this is the love of God.
For this is the love of God. So now we're going to get the breakdown of what the word love really means, which is an action word. You know what I'm saying?
God, that we keep his commandments.
That we do what?
That we keep his commandments.
That we keep his commandments. That's love. You understand? Because why? When you keep the Most High God's commandments, thou shalt not kill. Now you're not murdering your brother. You're not murdering your sister. You understand? That's love. You understand? Thou shalt not commit adultery. Now you have love and respect to your brother. You understand? Well, now you're not going to sleep with your brother's wife. You understand? Thou shalt not covet. Meaning now you have respect for your brother. Now you're not going to go into his house. You understand? And want what's in his house. To the point where now you're jealous, and guess what? You may murder him for it. You understand? These laws, statutes, and commandments go hand in hand. You understand? Read on.
God. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
That we keep his commandments.
And his commandments are not grievous.
And his commandments are not grievous. Wait a minute. We're reading from the New Testament. You understand? For you for you know what I'm saying? For you Christians out there that say that what? That Christ done away with the laws? But we're reading in John's the first chapter and the fifth First John chapter 5 and 3 that we have to keep all his commandments. Read on, sir? And his commandments.
God. And his commandments are not grievous.
And his commandments are not grievous. You understand? It's not meant to, you understand, to hurt us. You understand? Just like how we read in Deuteronomy. Why? Because we didn't serve the Lord with joyousness and an abundance of joy. We are not Slakia. And his commandments are not grievous. You understand? These commandments was not to hurt us. These commandments was made to preserve our lives. You understand? To make us a better nation other than the other nations. To set us above. But when we break these laws, statutes, commandments, you understand? Now today what we follow, what we celebrate, Juneteenth, 4th of July. You understand? We wouldn't have to celebrate Juneteenth or 4th of July if we would have kept these laws, statutes, commandments, you understand, and served the Lord with joyful and gladness. Right? And with that, I'm come on.
Verse 4 right now. I've never seen this verse 4 rejected. He says, for whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world. In other words, this world is here, and how hard it is to live here.
Right.
And all the challenges there is, and we gotta suffer here, and we are overcome.
Right.
We've been overcome.
Right.
The Lord is saying, whatsoever is born of God, meaning the Israelites that love the Lord,
right,
and they're born again.
Right.
You know what I mean? To be born of God.
Right.
The mission and the ability is to overcome the earth.
Right.
You know what I mean? To overcome whatever powers in the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he says, this is the victory. And the victory hasn't been gained yet. Right? Because every Christian gonna tell you, we all fall short of the glory.
Right.
We didn't get the glory. We didn't get the victory.
Right.
Christ is saying that, and this is the victory that overcometh the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the Christian church are telling us that we all fall short of the glory, meaning we can't get the glory.
Right.
But God is saying, if you follow the Isupk, you're gonna get that glory. You're gonna get that victory.
Right.
And he says, even our faith, and faith without works is dead.
Dead. And right.
You know what I mean? So the faith in the Isupk gets that victory. We don't get shot like the IUIC.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And there's great good things to come to brothers that serve the Most High in the Isupk.
That's right.
Power to be had, man.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? So verse 5. Who is he that overcomes the world? Big question. Who are we talking about? That overcometh the world, that's going to gain power in the earth under Christ.
Right.
And rule over our oppressors. It says, but he that believeth Yahushua is the Son of God.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Meaning we have to do what Yahushua said.
Right.
Meaning if you don't believe Yahushua is the Son of God, then you think that Christ is coming back for all people, and Christ ain't say that.
Right.
You're not believing in the same Yahushua.
Right.
You see what I mean? But for those who do believe, you're going to put the Old Testament together. He's the Son of God.
Right.
You're going to put all the things the Lord said and put Yahushua together. Are we going to serve him? Are we going to end up having what we call the Isupk?
Right.
Mitres and headpieces and fringes on garments. Are we going to live the life we live and not be like these Christians?
Damn right.
That's who overcometh the world according to verse 5 too. You know what I mean? So lock you.
Most High in Christ.
Now we can go on, but we up some time.
Come on. Most High in Christ. Clap it
So
up.
lock you. Verse 6. This is he that came by water and blood, talking about the death of Yahushua. And the water meaning we washed ourselves off of the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? Okay, let's get out of here.
And with that, I'm preaching officers. You're all going to pass the class over to preaching officer Hazahar.
God. And with that, we say Amadia. Amad Shabbat. Amadia. Barak. Yahweh Bashem. Yahweh Bashem. Class dismissed.